Boom. Good morning, everybody. My name is Deputy Chief O, and today I am giving my fourth speech out of 5. Today's persuasive speech, which I will be talking about the war on drugs. So the war on drugs, what is America's war on drugs? Who initiated it? President Nixon, 1972. So basically the war on drugs is an ever-going battle against the United States, against the drug lords. Stopping from coming to the country, spoiling our youth, diminishing the moral fiber, what makes up America. But we're spending millions and millions of dollars every day against the war on drugs, and it seems like we're losing. The drugs are still coming in. We're finding millions of pounds of marijuana, the mother load of cocaine, and it just seems like it never ends. But I'm here to tell you today, regardless of the losing battle that it would appear that we're in the middle of, that we still need to continue. Even we're in several wars right now, we still need to continue the war on drugs. So, with that, I have my handy dandy note cards that I'll be referring to. September 11th, we witnessed 2 terrorist attacks against the United States on our shores, first time ever. And as the experts look at it, it's linked to the war on drugs. What funds the Al-Qaeda? Does anybody know what the largest cash crop in Afghanistan is? What is it? Which is poppy. Poppy. And we're going to go over that in a second, that the United States at first was burning down the poppy fields, but they have now since stopped. Why? Because it's a cash crop. You cannot bring a country back onto its feet by selling clay pots. Can't do it. So anyway, so basically my point is that the war on terror and the war on drugs is closely related, closely linked. So now what the United States has done is that we reached out globally. The global war on drugs include countries like Latin America, Colombia, South America. These countries are saying, especially the third world countries, the drug lords are taking over. You're either with the drug lords, or you're on the take, or you're pretty much wanted. Did anybody see that Facebook, that young girl talked about the cartel and how drugs were bad in Mexico? And she posted on her Facebook page, 2 days later was dead. So the cartel and the drug lords and the Colombians, it's a war. And they want to feed this country full of the drugs, and they don't want it to stop. So, global war on drugs. So the United States has now made what they call the Controlled Substance Act, which means that if any American citizen is off the soil of the United States who talks about drugs or engaging in drugs or takes a substantial step forward into bringing drugs in this country, can be arrested. And to back that, to make that even a little more substantial, they have a drug trafficking safe haven law, which means that they can extradite. So that means if you go to Mexico and talk about, we can bring in this dope, we can do this, we can do that, and if they catch you, they can extradite. So that's a pretty good law. Excuse me, because before, with the global war on drugs, it's hard to extradite people from other countries. Hard to get them from Colombia once they run. Hard to get them from Latin America once they run. So the United States is trying to reach out. And what we're doing with that, we're starting to supply some of these third world countries with the means to fight against their own wars. I mean, you got to look at Colombia. Why are the Colombians bringing so many drugs into this country? Okay, there's a need, I get it, because we want it. But why are they doing it? Because they don't like us? Because it's the only way they can make money. I mean, what else does Colombia produce?
Coffee.
Coffee. Pretty good coffee, by the way. Not bad. But, so that's why I bring it. Did anybody ever see how they make cocaine? How they take the coca plant and turn it into the white powder? You ever see that process? It's a long process, and it makes you wonder, who the hell thought of that? It actually take fuel, and they break down that plant to the lowest substance, and then they dry it, and it turns into powder. But it's like, what about, what is that, meth? Anybody see how they process meth? Crazy process. People that didn't graduate high school are now chemists. So the process and the time and effort that these people put into these drugs, it makes you wonder what motivates them. Well, it's money. In this country anyway. I mean, we all know you push drugs, whether you get caught or not, you're making some money. And that's what motivates, there's the need. Can we get rid of the need? How do we get rid of the drugs? Do we get rid of the need, or do we get rid of the supplier? It's tough, so we're kind of going fight both ways on that. Alright, let me flip my card over here. Alright, so the war on terror and the war on drugs, closely related. Now I read an article that Iran is buddying up with the cartel on the borders, so they're making an alliance with the cartel. So now we got terrorists making alliances with drug dealers to infiltrate the United States. Because they figure the drug dealers are getting the drugs in, right? So why not buddy up with them? How long has the cartel been getting drugs in this country?
Since it started.
Since it started. Did anybody see that tunnel they had from San Diego to Tijuana? And they had like a trail and a cart and ventilation. I mean, it was pretty smoking cool. And they were like electrically running carts through there. So the terrorists, the Taliban, is saying now, well, these guys have been doing it for years. Well, why are we driving airplanes to the buildings? We can infiltrate them right on their own waterfront. So anyway, I just want to show you a point between the cartel and the drug lords and how they're closely related. And actually, you got to ask yourself what funds them. Like I said, the Taliban, the poppy's grown in Afghanistan is the #1 cash crop. All right, so the thing is, and we've all seen the TV shows they have now with the border patrol and all that, all the drugs coming in. It does seem like an endless, non-winning battle. The country's pouring in thousands and thousands of dollars, millions of dollars, to stop the war on drugs. But I'm here to tell you, regardless of the outcome or regardless of how it looks, we still got to continue to fight. Why? Our youth depends on it. Our youth depends on us to continue to fight. Because right now they're at that age, and we've all been at an age where we didn't really know right from wrong, or we did, but we still made the wrong choice anyway. Well, they're dependent on us because they are our future. With that said, I promote the war on drugs, and I continue never to stop, regardless of the odds are against us. And that's all I have. Thank you.